Hey everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Welcome to Open. You're watching Open and we appreciate you for it. Coming up on today's show, we'll hear from the founder and CEO of an organization that brings people of every background together to celebrate the African diaspora. And we'll connect with a featured artist of this major milestone event. You don't want to miss it. Then we'll hear from a registered dietitian who will share some tips on how you can improve health and wellness throughout the year. And finally, we'll sit down with a former WNBA player turned mental performance coach and life skills instructor who is helping female athletes strengthen their mindsets to succeed in sports and in life, one step at a time. So all you have to do is sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and we're wide open. Here we go. There you go. Hey, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at Bronxnet TV. Now, leading things off, our first guests are the founder and CEO of the Harlem Fine Arts Show and a talented visual arts artist whose work is featured at the 18th Annual Harlem Fine Arts Show. And they join us to speak about this major milestone and so much more. But that big milestone is like on the 20th anniversary, right? But we're going to celebrate now. We got a couple of years. We're going to hang out with it. So please welcome to the show, Dion E, Clarke, and the artist Donna Ladson. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You've been doing this for 18 years, but then some. You've done some other things before this. Give us a little breakdown, a little rundown.
Well, we're getting bigger and better and stronger and more impactful. We bring cultural nutrition around the United States and around the world. We are fortunate enough to have over 100 artists and galleries from February 20th to the 23rd at the Glass House in Midtown Manhattan, and it should be a excellent show. Outstanding, great artists, great social events that are built around it, and again, something that'll make you want to stand up and holler.
There you go.
Want some more.
Yeah. Listen, you started it a while ago. What propelled you to start something like this, the Fine Arts Show?
Well, we're a hybrid of another art show, what they call the National Fine Art Show, or National Black Fine Art Show. And it was started by a gentleman by the name of Stedman Graham and Jocelyn Wainwright. I was fortunate enough to work with them as their marketing director at that time. And when they decided to cease and desist, that's when we just started getting up and moving. And we took the show out of Lower Manhattan and brought it up to the 44th Street Armory on 144th Street in Harlem. And that was our first place to actually be able to, again, showcase limited artists at a very early stage. But one thing was really fortunate was Gayle King came in and she said, I want to buy this and I want to buy that and I want to buy a little bit more. And it really propelled us to find a home. And our home became Riverside Church. And we were at the Riverside Church for 14 years. And it was a great launching pad. And we went from 2,000, 3,000 attendees to over 10,000. And we just busted at the seam. And we needed to find a next place to go, and that place needed to be the cultural center of New York City, and that was downtown New York on 48th Street, and we've been in the Glass House for the last 4 years.
We're gonna play that record. It's a Glass.
I'm telling you, and it was a good one, and it's been a good one.
Yes,
it's been over 10,000 people each year as we've grown, developed more artists. We started out with about 50, 60 artists. We're up to 100 artists and galleries, and we all support the what we call African diaspora in terms of the great work that comes from there, and a chance for not only emerging artists but established artists to be together with some of the perennial greats, and really just come in and do something that's outstanding and that's never been done before.
And you got Ann Tripp and Dean Meminger working with you.
Oh, we have a stellar opening night. We have Ann Tripp, and Ann Tripp just spreads the word from BLS all the way to the show, and Dean Meminger, who is one of the local newscasters, and they're there to support us, to introduce us, and to have a little bit of fun also.
That's great. How do you choose these artists? There's a lot of artists out there that want to be a part of what you're doing, but how do you choose your artists?
Well, we had over 500 to 1,000 entries or applicants. We have a jury process that they go to, and each artist goes through that process, as well as galleries, and we pick the best of the best. We pick inspirational artists. We pick artists that are storytellers, because this is the only true storytelling mechanism that's available, because the artist to the canvas and then the canvas to the world. So it's a way to, again, send the word, send that impact that's so important. And it helped us with this new story or new rollout, because this year we're actually dedicating it a salute to technology. And we've developed a great band that's right off of our website. It's actually from a group out of Bulgaria and London, and they put together a nice band where we have about 40 to 30 artists, and you can go up and see them 24/7, 365 days a year, and you can buy their work. So it's not just an extension of the Harlem Fine Arts Show, it's an expansion of the Harlem Fine Arts Show, because we're only to be able to be there 3 or 4 days in each particular region that we travel to. But this is all inclusive.
And that website is hfas.org?
That's right, hfas.org. And it's, again, smooth transition, and we've incorporated AI. So they'll tell the story of the artist and give you some history behind it. So it's a nice package that we put together.
You've been working on it for a while, I tell you. You're here, and then you have one of your fine artists with you here today.
We have one of the best, and we call her the artist.
The artist is in the house.
The artist,
And her name is Donna Ladson, and Donna's been with us for 13 years. So she's grown with the program. She's traveled from Martha's Vineyard to Chicago to Washington to Atlanta, and always been in our show in New York City.
And Donna knows the family too.
I do.
Bugs. She knows the BLS family.
Yeah, from Queens. That's right. Yeah.
Jamaica Funk, right?
Hollis, Queens. Hollis in the house. Yeah.
And what's that high school now that has about 50
Andrew
schools?
Jackson.
There's about 50
School.
schools in that building now. Well,
Yeah.
5, but you know.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Bugsy went there.
Yeah.
Peppy Sutton went to that school. A lot of people went to that school. So tell us how you got involved and how you got
I
interested in
was
this.
First introduced to the Harlem Fine Arts Show. I went to visit the show originally, but then AARP, a friend of mine worked for AARP. She knew I was an artist. They picked me up, and they sponsored me my first year there, and it was a fabulous experience. I was able to show my artwork, sold art, and the following year, I think they did sponsor me again. They sponsored me 2 years in a row, and then after that, I was hook, line, and sinker with the Harlem Fine Arts Show, and I've been traveling with them ever since.
Yeah.
And AARP is still with us now. They're one of the sponsors. They bring the mature artists to us, the artists that are looking to really become a part of our network and really to be able to showcase their great works.
AARP, they do a lot of great work in the community. So, what's the takeaway? What will people take away from this is 3 days, right?
It's a live experience. Again, you get a chance to meet and greet the artists right on the floor. You get to hear their story. You get to buy their work. You get them to sign your work potentially, and you develop a relationship with them. And that's fantastic, because in today's times, you don't develop relationships. This is a way to really become in the heart and soul of the artist. Also, it's just a fun time. You see people, you develop relationships. It's like coming home to a reunion. An art reunion. So lots of fun.
And you can tell people where people have been, because if you visit somebody's apartment or a condo or a house, you know, they have a little area where they have all of their artwork. You know,
Yes.
they have it maybe in a little hallway or maybe just a room where they have their artwork on display, and a lot of it comes from you.
Harlem Fine Arts Show.
That's right. That's right.
Come on home.
Yeah.
Come on home. That's so
right.
important because you develop that culture, you develop that hearsay type of knowledge that really kind of brings you into the fold and makes you feel very comfortable at the show. Because again, music, art, entertainment, and we've built in other fractions of the show in regards to, we have a special salute to our unsung heroes on Saturday night. That's the doctors and the medical community. So we're able to really highlight and show the relationship between art and healing and how that really comes together. And this year on the Sunday, we're saluting technology as we always do, but we're having a special salute to Lloyd Williams, president of the Harlem Chamber of Commerce, the gentleman who really put together Harlem Week that became Harlem Month, but that's something that's fantastic for all of New York City and everyone who travels into the world. So from 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll be saluting Lloyd, we'll be saluting his input and his thoughts in really developing Harlem as that continuous national type of monument throughout the world.
Hard act to follow, you know, after Lloyd Williams. You know, they started, I remember they started in front of the Harlem State Office building. It was just like 1 or 2 days. And I remember the large crowds out there, and then it became a week, you're right, then the month. And it seems like they've been working it all year because they've been calling the radio, hey, this is going to happen, we need you to come down for this. And it was like it turned out to be a whole year.
And we need that because we need to bring culture back into our homes and between Lloyd and Vosa Rivers. Those two kind of really just kind of push. They say push, tush. They pushed us over the goal line. They gave us the opportunity to really be able to, again, send that message out in a very succinct type of manner.
And hopefully we will keep that going. The artist in the house. What are you working on, and what do you work on beyond the Harlem Fine Arts Show?
I usually work in series. So depending on where my head is at, I love to do children or things that are happening in social events.
Tell them about the colors.
The colors!
Wow.
Talk about the colors!
I'm looking at your background and I'm saying, wow, these are colors I use. I don't do anything in black and white. And I tell people if they see something in 2 colors, it is not mine. Everything I do has lots of colors.
I should have worn more colors. I'm sorry.
I mean, no, it's all right. You got your background. You got your background. It's all good.
We can use the background?
Yeah, we can use your background. Yeah, I love color.
I'm hanging out in the background.
Yes, I love
I'm
color.
open now.
Well, that's our roots, our African-American roots, my Caribbean roots. We use color. And I find that colors draw my patrons to my work. You know, they'll come in there. I've had people come in every year.
There's one right there.
Yeah, that's undone. And that little girl is not happy, as little girls are when they're getting their hair combed, which is why she has that expression on her face. And the gentleman actually that bought that painting, the next year he came back looking for something else, which is what Dion was saying, how we get relationships with
Did he come back and get that?
He bought, no, that one, oh, that's, no, he didn't get that one yet. No, that's my story about Basquiat and his relationship. And this I call Keys.
Wow.
Alicia Keys was my inspiration for that. But again, you see all my colors. Everything I use, everything I do has lots of color, textures. My mantra is imagination in color. My imagination is not in black and white. My imagination is in color, so everything I do has lots of color.
Yeah, and this is not easy. It's easy for you because this is what we do, but there's a lot of hurdles in this, you know. Sometimes these people see us come out on stage and we're polished up and they say, oh man, I can do that. But there's a lot that goes on backstage. Talk about some of the obstacles.
It's a process. It's a process. It's a learning. It's like you learn how to run and you learn how to walk and you learn how to crawl. So if you flip that backwards, the artists go through that state, and that's what the Harlem Fine Arts Show does in terms of we nurture you, we help you, we tell you some of the things that you might be able to do and that you can do, and then you work on it. And we have little seminars, we have briefings.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a full process. When you sign up for the show, we give you as much educational nutrition as we can in terms of this is how you might need to set up your booth. This is might be how you can get your artwork here. And then once they get there, it's a love fest with the artists because you have 100 other artists and galleries from around the world. Artists buy other artists' work.
Yes.
Galleries buy their work and take these artists' works around the world. And everybody has what we call a great time because it's a positive spirit. It's that positive energy, and it makes you want to kind of jump. It makes you want to holler. And that's what Don Cornelius used to say, it's the hippest trip in America.
Yes.
Because, we have fun. And that fun goes to the audience. The consumer enjoys it. And the things that we've built from African Americans in technology to African Americans in medicine and the nurturing of the artists just makes it a real good experience for people to want to come, to want to spend time. And sometimes we have to kick you out because they want to stay a little bit too long. But no, it's a
I know that's right. What do you learn from other artists? And what do they learn from you?
Well, one thing I've learned about the artist community, we are always very generous with our information. I've learned techniques. I always come back invigorated after those 3 days. As much work as we put into those 3 days, you come home and you're like, it's like you got a shot of adrenaline. So you're learning from other artists, you're sharing other things with other artists. I love children, so I'm sharing things about art with children. That's my background is children. So I love sharing how to do different things, how to use different things, different techniques. I'm learning from other artists. So it's like like I said, a shot of adrenaline.
And we put together some great lecture series. We have how to collect art, how to purchase art, how to
that's
do
a
wealth
good thing to
generation.
know.
An educated consumer is the best consumer because you can talk to the artist of, is this original? Is this a G-clay? Is this a print? Well, what is that? So you get a chance to hear somebody actually define that. You can go over to our lecture series and you see the artists come on stage and they get a chance to expose themselves in terms of who, what, when, and how. And then we get the galleries to come back up there. And then we have the women artists come back up there. So it's a round table of lecture series, people floating around the room, having cocktails, just having a great time.
You have the eye to detect what's right and what's wrong, what's original and what's not?
Yes, I studied that a little bit, and through the last 18 years, if I couldn't learn it, there was no way in the world I could not learn it because the artists have really educated me as well as some noted scholars that are there in terms of art historians, art lecturers that have been there, and they want you to get this knowledge because this knowledge is really a way for them to be successful and for you to be successful.
And 18 years, you must have a tremendous art collection.
Well, we don't have any more room. We have a little warehouse.
You have to buy another room to get them.
But it's a good idea to rotate your art.
Absolutely.
So that keeps you involved. And again, the beauty of this is to be able to see the emerging artists and see the emerging artists become the great artists and become the Basquiats or the Romian Beardens or those types of individuals through that process.
And this is good. The collectors benefit because everything
escalates.
Raises in price later on. I mean, it's good for the youngsters that you're going to pass it on to.
Yeah.
It's passing on generational wealth.
Absolutely.
It's a part of generational wealth.
And it's so important to the multicultural community more than anything else because we haven't really been cognizant of that in the past. But some of these lectures teach you, well, you buy this for $1.99 and 5 years later it's going to be $5.99 and then it's going to be $10.99. So it's a way to do something for your children while you really involved in the
So
messaging.
come and get your collection on. The date is?
February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. 3 great days, opening night, all of that, where I know you're going to be there, I know Ann Tripp will be there, I know Dean Meminger, and the whole Harlem Fine Arts Show family. And opening nights, you have the mayor, the movers and shakers in the community to really be a part of this.
And it's going to be at the Glass House.
Yes.
At the Glass House. And one other positive note, we have a certain portion of the dollars for the entry fee to actually be able to go back to the Alzheimer's Association. They felt that Alzheimer's impacts our communities a little bit more than the general market community. So we've partnered with Alzheimer's to be really able to talk about what might be impacting your family and how you can change that up a little bit.
There you go. Dion E. Clarke, founder, Harlem Fine Arts Show, and Donna, the artist, Ladson, multidisciplinary fine artist. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll see you over there. We'll do it again.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Website.
HFAS.org.
There you go. We'll take a quick break right here.
Okay.
We got it.
And we'll come back with more.
Thank you.
Next on Open.
Thank you.
There's a new channel to explore, and it's bringing the classics back to life. During the day, relive the Bronxnet originals that sparked conversations and built community. At night, dive into the hip-hop throwbacks that defined a generation. One destination, two powerful lineups. Now playing on Optimum Channel 952, FiOS 2138, and streaming at bronxnet.tv. BX Legacy, where history meets the moment.
We are the Eco Leaders. We learned that everything starts with ourselves, then we have to educate ourselves, then we have to build community and use our imagination.
And welcome back. Our next guest is a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes care education specialist. And she joins us to share some tips on how she can gain control of your holistic health and wellness and highlight her new book, The ORAC Diet, and what to eat and how to eat. So please welcome to the show, Sabrina Hernández-Cano. Sabrina,
Hi.
Welcome. How are you?
Thank you.
Now,
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
and I know you've done a lot of work in Florida. Are you in Miami right about now?
I am. I was born and raised in Miami.
All right. I see you have the sunshine on your face.
We've had the most beautiful weather.
I
And a
know.
little
All right, you're
nice
teasing
little
us here now. I know. Listen, for the people meeting you for the first time, who is Sabrina Hernández-Cano, beyond the titles and your credentials?
A very caring nutritionist for 35 years when nutrition and dietetics was not trendy. Today, fortunately, it is accepted and trending, and everyone wants to know more about nutrition. But back then, it was, it was, you said omega-3, and people just were like, what? And today it's mainstream. And so I want to help people understand where the future of nutrition is going. And finally, because people are open to listening to the message of balance, moderation, and variety, which is something that the organization that governs me, the American Dietetics Association, has been talking about for over 100 years. So it hasn't been trending for us. It's been a way of life for us.
Yeah.
And so just like back in the day, people were saying omega. What are they talking about? Why do we need to know about omega-3 fatty acids? Today, I want to talk to you about the future of nutrition, which is ORAC, oxygen radical absorbency capacity. We're going to all be following an ORAC diet in the future, hopefully very soon, if not already. And what this stands for is for basically combating or fighting oxidative damage that comes on a daily basis from pollution, from our environment, from the diet that we hold or keep, and from simply aging. So we have a lot of diseases in the United States that we should not have, these days, because we have basically, medicine in our hands through food.
Yeah.
And this is something that's finally being accepted. 35 years ago, it was considered, inappropriate, if you will, to speak of food as medicine. But today, we have the benefits of knowing that back in the late 80s, early 90s, scientists, particularly one, Dr. Cao, a Chinese doctor, went to work for the National Institute of Aging. And what they decided to do, him and another scientist, was rank foods on an index based on how powerful or how antioxidant these foods are or continue to be. And they found that by having this index, we can actually recognize these foods that are so powerful that can actually take off or remove, if you will, radical toxins, free radicals that sit on the cell. So that's basically what is happening, is that we constantly have toxins that sit on the cells.
And that causes oxidative damage, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So there are foods that actually combat this, and we have an index, spices being number one. So we should all be looking at cloves, for example. Cloves are easy
they're so
to,
good for you. It does so many wonderful things.
300,000, if we're going to talk about the numbers, 300,000 in the index of antioxidants, probably ranked number one amongst all antioxidant foods. So it's a good idea to have a nice cloves and cinnamon tea. Cinnamon is right there with cloves in terms of the antioxidant powerful effects that it has. Oregano also. But then we go into fruits, and we have the pomegranate, which is 10,000. So this is what the future holds. Talking more about the foods that are actually going to be beneficial to combat these metabolic diseases. For example, when we talk about eyesight, what can we do on a daily basis of the food that'll help us not have macro, degeneration of the eyes? And it would be spinach and corn. There are zeaxanthins in there, and lutein, chemicals that we will know. Just like we know vitamin C, A, C, and E are antioxidants, we will know the names, the compounds of these actual, chemicals that are in foods that are actually fighting diseases.
Lots of great minerals and vitamins in the avocado alone.
Yes,
so
and
this
fatty
is all a part
acids.
of exactly, omega-3s. So this is all a part of the ORAC diet that a lot of people are going to be paying more attention to.
Absolutely. I think the ORAC diet is a way of life. On chapter 2, I give you an entire pantry, and the rest of the book is 365 breakfast, lunch, dinners, practical, and snacks that you can have, which I've formulated using the most antioxidant foods available. So if you want to eat really clean this year, it's on Amazon. And it's very practical. It's a book you should have in your kitchen, and you can just open up to any page, and you'll have a breakfast, lunch, dinner, calorically, carbohydrate, protein, and fat balance to perfection, and also very high in antioxidant and delicious foods.
Yeah. And now when you talk about diet, it doesn't mean going on a diet, but it just means eating correctly, eating the right things.
The word diet, correct. The word diet is whatever it is that you put in your mouth today. So that is considered a diet. So your diet can be what you did this morning. So people have an idea about diets because there are over 17,500 registered diets in the history of nutrition. That's a big number, 17,500, and they keep adding. But we're not talking about the diet we're talking about diet as what you're going to eat.
Yes.
We've changed the definition of diet.
You'll be on a
is
diet
actually
once you
whatever
start
you
eating
did this
this way.
morning.
Yeah, exactly. Now, your background is from Cuba, and your parents, of course, the good foods that your parents made. How did your upbringing in your mom's homemade food business shape your relationship with the foods that you're dealing with today?
I grew up in a kitchen. My mom came to this country 65 years ago. I was fortunate enough to be born in this country, and to have the wonderful, blessings to be able to eat a variety of foods. Thank goodness that, she was able to leave there because of course, communism and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And these people in Cuba today are starving, which breaks my heart that here we're talking about an overabundance of foods, and we're talking about high quality foods when over there they don't have anything.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a kitchen, very humble, and I learned from my mom that, purity, natural, whole. My mom lived in a farm. My grandfather was an herbalist. He used to cure people with herbs, and
That's what they did back then. They ate from the land. They did the cloves that you were talking about and all the other natural products that came from the earth.
right. So I grew up with all kinds of teas in my home. For example, it was time to sleep. It was manzanilla or chamomile.
Yeah.
You had an upset stomach and you were going to have peppermint tea. You had inflammation, you were going to have turmeric. Today it's become more popular. And so the herbs for me were a very common thing growing up. I had herbs everywhere. And also beetroot. My mom would take the actual remolacha or the beets. And now we know because of science that, our cells needed nitric oxide. We needed, after the age of 40, we stopped producing nitric oxide. And this is, why people suffer from high blood pressure, circulation issues, right? And it's as easy as, you just take the beetroot and you have, a shot of this every single day. And this is how I grew up. My mom would talk about the fiber in beans and how we had to eat our protein through our beans, and rice was a perfect, and so I was influenced by my mother's kitchen, by my, grandparents' upbringing from Cuba that was all herbs and lots of holistic things from the farm. Everything was, of course, organic because, we had avocado trees and mango trees back in my home.
Oh.
So everything was my mom tried to make her little farm in Hialeah, where I actually was born and raised.
Right.
And so it did influence me. But, Cuban diet is not big on broccoli and spinach and that sort of thing. So it wasn't until I actually went into nutrition school that I discovered, wow, there's a whole green world out here.
Yeah, I grew up on starches and everything, all the things that Spanish people eat and all that stuff, but there's a whole green world out there, exactly. So what propelled you to put the book together, the ORAC Diet, and what to eat and what not to eat? Especially for diabetics. There are a lot of people who are diabetics that can use this.
Yeah, I first started with books on cancer because my mom suffered from breast cancer many years ago. So I co-authored a book, 2 or 3 or 4, with Cindy Papali on breast cancer. And then I decided that we needed to, What to Eat and How is actually a book. And that one just sells out all the time. So I don't even talk about it anymore. But that one's on Amazon. It's called What to Eat and How. It's in Spanish and English. It's a play on words in Spanish. Que como y como. Like the word como is what to eat and how. So I had to translate it according to Amazon exactly the same way. So in English, it sounds kind of funny. But that book I can't keep it on the shelves. That book is everything I did for 35 years with my patients.
People want to know. They don't want to go to the hospital all the time and spend all that time there and all that money and take chemotherapy, not necessarily for cancer, but chemical therapy. They want to get to the root of the problem. Show me what I can take, what I can eat, what I can take as far as natural products. to
And
help
I
me
teach
get
you
where
how
I
to
need to go.
calculate your own carbohydrates, protein, and fats in that other book, What to Eat and How. This is the new baby, and this one is very practical because it's talking about foods that are antioxidant and 365 actual breakfast, lunch, dinner that you can open up this book in your kitchen and say, you know what, I'm going to buy these foods, have them in the refrigerator, and then cook like this. Cook and chill maybe 1 or 2 days a week, and then have excellent foods. But this is actually, you know, the one that's now, I feel like it's going to trend in the future. But
Yeah.
What to Eat and How is the coolest book ever. And my patients love it. They come to me actually because they saw the book on Amazon. And that one is always on back order on Amazon. You know, it's just, I can't keep enough of that one.
Yeah. Now, when you
So
talk
I'm trying
about
to push this one.
yeah, we're going to get that one. But tell me, you have all these patients. Mostly the patients come to you for what? Most of the patients that are out there.
Well,
what do
you
they
know,
need help in?
my heart is on body composition and obesity. So my favorite patient is going to be weighing 300, 400, 500 pounds. And this is my rescue. This is when I have my rescue heart on, okay? Because these patients are forgotten. These patients are, a lot of them are embarrassed. They don't even know how they got there. We discuss things that are very sad. You know, obesity, and I was obese as a child, and I was also molested. I was kidnapped and molested when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
And this is a long story, maybe for a different show, but this is how I realized that when you see somebody that has a lot of weight on them, there's a reason why. You just don't overeat because you like food. You know, there's a comfort that goes with overeating, just like drug addicts. So when I see a patient who's struggling because they can't get a job, they can't have a relationship. I've had 30, 40-year-old, I even have a 50-year-old right now that has never had a relationship, has never had an emotional relationship. And so this is who I want to help, you know, and this is who I hope also reaches out to me. I can take them from where they're at, you know, morbid, severe obesity to fitness. I have, you know, the pleasure of saying that I've had a career that has helped me reach the hierarchy of Maslow. You know, all I want to do is give back.
Yeah,
I am
and what you're
blessed beyond words. And
Yeah.
I just want to help these people. I
And
really
also, what you're saying is that people are coming to you with problems, mind, body, and spirit.
do. Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And
A lot of people have a story that's very painful and it relates to the weight that they're carrying on their body. And a lot of people don't have the support. Obesity is multifactorial. It involves, you know, physical, mental, spiritual, you know, the people around you, your culture. So there's a lot there. There's a lot to do, but there are tools today.
Yes.
There are tools today to help morbid obese people, or you know, sometimes you don't have to be severe or morbid, and sometimes you're carrying 5 pounds extra, 10 pounds extra, and those are the ones that are hurting you. I've seen, especially, you know, in our youth today who want to be very fit, they've come to me, you know, suicidal because they have an extra 10 pounds. But I respect that because those are the 10 extra pounds that are getting them bullied, that are getting them their self-esteem, you know, to be so low.
Yeah.
So I respect any amount of fat that you have on your body that doesn't belong, that is hurting you, truly hurting you, should be something that should be looked at. Like any other problem of health. And this is where inflammation and oxidation
That's what I wanted
really
to
starts.
get to. That's exactly where I was going. Talk about inflammation. Inflammation, how does it affect the bodies and the energy level?
Yes. So the first layer of health begins with body composition. You have to have the correct amount of muscle. I see people with such little muscle, and this is so debilitating. This is what happens to elderly people, right? When you have very little muscle, but it's also happening to people that are young because they're not exercising, they're not lifting weights, they're not moving their bodies. So you have to have the right amount of muscle, which is like the hanger, right? The hanger of the human body, of the bones. Muscle's important. Muscle is important. Muscle is life, it's energy, and it's longevity, and it's anti-aging. Then you have to have the right amount of fat. And where we go wrong, especially in the United States, is that we are overeaters for the reasons that I mentioned, before. Emotional, we have an excess, we have a lot of foods that are processed with extra sugars, extra fats that don't even belong there. They shouldn't even be there. We forget the fresh, the wholeness, right? So we have an excess fat in our body. And this is what's causing today the metabolic diseases that we see, like cancer, like diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. When we have somebody that has an excess fat on their body, already, that's the first layer. When we've taken patients, and I've done this for over 25 years, when bariatric surgery became so popular and people were having gastric sleeve surgery, making their stomachs go from this big to smaller, these patients, a lot of them were on 5, 6, 7 medications. And after surgery, 0 medications. So we know for a fact that when you have excess fat on your body, your pancreas cannot produce enough insulin for all those fat cells.
Yeah.
So guess what? You're going to be put on medication so that your pancreas gets a beating. Hey, this is what medication does. It gives your pancreas a beating, knocks on it and says you need to produce more insulin. Or, of course, if they're insulin, then they directly inject insulin. But it's an extra, thing that's coming on. So we need to take the extra human being off of the human being that's causing for us to have extra medication or extra devices to run the second human being.
Yeah.
So what I tell my patients is like, listen, you have 4 human beings on you that don't belong. Let's take one away each at a time. We should have the 80-20, right? 80%, 20%, 80% muscle, 20% fat. Any patient who comes to me, I have high blood pressure, help me with a diet for high blood pressure. I tell them, let's start at the basic. The basics is that you've got 30 pounds on you that don't belong of fat. Oh, but I don't look fat. Oh, but no, my doctor's never told me I need to lose 30 pounds. When I weigh you with the latest technology and I show you that you have an extra 30 pounds of fat that don't belong, and we gradually remove them, guess what? You may not need blood pressure medication anymore. So, composition, body composition is everything. And an expert, dietitians, registered and licensed dietitians are experts. Fitness trainers are experts. In body composition, we understand that that's where it's all at.
Listen, we appreciate you. We thank you for coming on. You're a wealth of information. You have to come back again. And you can talk about some of those other things that you mentioned too, and how you can use that, how you can use that to help you deal with what you're dealing with now and help your patients get where they need to go. Sabrina Hernández-Cano, RDN, CDCES NC, registered dietitian, certified diabetes care education specialist, nutrition counselor, and author, The ORAC Diet, What to Eat and How. Thank you so much. We appreciate
My
you.
pleasure.
And
My
I
pleasure.
want a copy of that book
me.
because there's a lot of great information in there, and we need you to come back again. All right?
I'll make sure you get one. Thank you.
You got it. All right. We'll take a quick break. I've got a whole lot more coming up next on Open.
We are the Eco Leaders. We learned that everything starts with ourselves. Then we have to educate ourselves. Then we have to build community and use our imagination.
We're gonna start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, this is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at Bronxnet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit bronxnet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
Hey, you didn't tell me Angel had a twin. Angel sits right in our production studio taking care of business. Thank you for all you do, Angel. Welcome back. Our last guest is a former and WNBA player, a two-time NCAA champion at the Stanford U, and an EPSI Award nominee, a two-time National Player of the Year finalist, a certified mental performance coach, and the founder and CEO of Mentally StrongHer. She joins us to speak about how she is empowering female athletes, providing tools that will help them get on and off the court and help them take care of business, whether you're on the court or off the court. So please welcome to the show, Val Whiting. Val, welcome to the show. How are you? How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm doing well, Dr. Bob. How are you?
Val, you've done a lot. I'm fine. I'm looking at you though. It seems like you got a whole lot going on, and you've been through it. Talk about some of the things that you've been through. Share your story with us. What inspired you to create Mentally StrongHer from everything that you're doing right about now?
Yeah, when I played in the WNBA, I struggled with my mental game. I didn't know how to bounce back from mistakes. I struggled with my confidence, performance anxiety, and I didn't have those skills or those tools to combat that. I even went to sports psychologists, didn't get the tools.
So
And
you
so
can be
I
on a,
spiraled.
I'm sorry, you can be on a court and you can do one wrong thing and that will make you feel like you're going
Yeah.
downhill, or the coach can say something to you, like sometimes you see when we're watching TV,
Yeah.
the coach is getting on somebody and that person's having a rough time bouncing back from that, right? Those are some of the
Yes,
things you're talking about?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or even you make a mistake and the coach takes you out right away,
Yeah.
and you're like, "What did I do wrong?"
Oh.
So I didn't have those tools to combat that. Believe it or not, even as a professional athlete, and my confidence spiraled. Would go up and down depending on how I played and how I performed. And so I spiraled so badly that I actually developed depression during that season. I was on the injured reserves, on and off for depression. The coach would look at me to put me in. I would say, no, I don't want to go in. And so I ended up taking the next season off because of that. And so I didn't want female athletes to go through what I went through as an athlete. And so I developed a program. Well, I went back to school, got my master's in sport and performance psychology.
Yeah.
And I became also a certified mental performance coach. And so I wanted to help female athletes get the tools so they don't have to go through what I went through. So that's why I founded Mentally StrongHer.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because it doesn't only happen in sports. You can be in the business, like my business, performing on the microphone or on stage or DJing, and you can do one wrong thing or somebody can say something to you. Sometimes that will stick with you for a long time. And you're in the business of being able to say stuff to people, and you got to make sure that what you say is correct because you can never pull it back. But if you do say something like that you can't pull back, that stays with you for a long time. So we need you, Coach. People need you, not only in basketball or in sports, but in the business. No matter what they're doing, they need you. They need
Thank
that
you.
confidence. They need somebody to help them rebuild their confidence.
Yeah, this definitely crosses over into life. I've had clients, parents of clients that have said that their kid is performing better in school. She doesn't have test taking anxiety, or she's able to get up in front of a class and give a presentation and not be nervous. So I didn't even realize it was going to be so powerful until I got in it and saw the changes that it was making.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. You've got something there, Coach. Because, how can you tell how many people are going through this? Some people are silent about it. They don't want to mention it, or they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's still a stigma associated with working with someone like me, or even someone going to therapy, like you're seen as weak. When I
Yeah.
played in the WNBA, that was back in 1999. No one knew why I took a season off. I said it was because of personal reasons. I was embarrassed to say that I was going through depression and I was struggling with my mental game.
Yeah.
And I didn't even tell anybody about why I took that season off until 2020 when I did a video about it. And it helped other athletes, like female athletes that were young.
They said, "Oh,
in
you
high
went
school.
through that? That's what I'm going through too."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it gave people the courage to not suffer in silence and
Yeah.
speak up and get the help they need.
Yeah. And you know, it's a career corrector because people, it can wreck your career, but if they come and see somebody like you can help get them on the right track and say, hey, it's okay. People go through this. You're human. That means you're human. But you need my help. Let's talk.
Exactly. You're a human and I know how to get you from point A to point Z.
Wow.
And let's work together.
Well, what challenges did you face when you were transitioning from competing at the highest levels of basketball to mentoring and coaching other female athletes?
Well, first of all, I didn't know I wanted to do what I do now. It took me a long time to know what I wanted to do when I grew up.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing basketball. Obviously, you go through kind of a mourning stage because you've been playing, but I've been playing since I was in 7th grade, going to the gym, being in the best shape of your life, having a team, 12 other women or 12 other young ladies you're with, and a coach and someone telling you where to go, what to do. I didn't have that anymore. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was teaching, having basketball camps and doing basketball player development. I even did some tutoring in math and science. I was even thinking about going back to medical school, a whole bunch of stuff. And then in 2020, the pandemic hit, and I became a influencer on TikTok for female athletes. And I started getting a lot of questions about sports psychology from female athletes.
Yeah.
Hey, the coaches take me out and I can't stop thinking about this mistake and I'm scared to go in. And I was like, you know what, there's something here. People need help. And that's how I started looking more into the sports psychology side of things and got trained. So that's how I got started. And I went from not playing basketball to what I do now.
Yeah. But do you tell them, hey, you know what, you think about that, what you got you in trouble mentally a lot of, for a long time, but do you ever try to think about all the things that make you great or got you to where you are or got you into the WNBA? Because some of those things will help, help offset the other thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's some of the things I do. I try to think about some of the positive things that help me get to where I am. And sometimes I got to psych myself out and tell myself how good I am. And I know people do that in every field.
Well, that's an exercise I do with my clients. It's called the confidence resume.
Ah, yeah.
You sit down and you write down all the things that make you great, that make you awesome, things
there you
that
go.
your parents have said to you, things that coaches have said to you, your accomplishments, and you write it down. And it's a dynamic document. And you consistently look at it when, hey, I'm not having a good day. Let me check out my confidence resume. I've done this exercise with executives as well.
Yeah.
And it's really powerful. It really reminds you who you are and helps you keep going.
Yeah. So you take a piece of paper like that, you fold it in half. The
You
good
just
and the
write-
bad.
No, just the good. Just the good.
Just the good.
Yes. Yes. And you always add to it. It's dynamic. So you're constantly adding to it.
Uh-huh.
When you get your award for what you're doing, you write down your award. Or you think about what you did 10 years ago. I did this. So confidence is built also on evidence. Your brain knows responds to what you did, not how you're necessarily feeling in the moment. And you're giving your brain evidence, that's giving you confidence. So confidence can be trained. And that's one of the tools that I use, the confidence resume. I got that from actually a sports psychologist named Dr. Patrick Holm.
Oh.
He used the confidence resume.
You got the research going on. Go ahead. So all of this is in Mentally StrongHer?
Mentally StrongHer, yes.
Mentally
I first
StrongHer.
I first started working with one-on-one clients, but then I developed a program called Mentally StrongHer Academy, because working with me one-on-one is not accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
And Mentally StrongHer Academy makes it more accessible.
That makes
Meaning
a
they
lot of
only
sense.
pay like $60 a month. We meet twice per month. They get coaching, they get resources, they get a community of female athletes. So that's my mission, is to get girls working on their mental game at a reasonable price, and that's why I formed the academy.
So you have somebody who comes to you that made a major mistake. What do you first tell them? Because it doesn't go away right away, but you have to get them into another way of thinking.
So I want to frame that a lot of kids and athletes think mistakes are bad. And yeah, they, turnovers, who wants to average like 5 turnovers a game? But
Yeah.
mistakes are how you learn.
Yes.
But in the moment of the game, you can't be thinking about that, right? You got to have that goldfish mentality. 10 seconds, it's forgotten. So I give them a routine, a mistake ritual, or a bounce back ritual that they have, that the mistake is forgotten. Now, if you want to think about the mistake, think about it after the game, write it down, see what you could have done better. But in the moment, especially in a game of basketball, I read somewhere that the average basketball player holds on to mistakes a minute and a half. And how much can happen in a minute and a half in a game when you're thinking about what happened a minute and a half ago when you got to take that next shot?
Yeah.
So to give athletes that next play mentality, next possession mentality, I give them a reset routine that's based on their own personal reset word, physical motion, and they take a deep breath, and it's forgotten. The problem with that is sometimes coaches make it hard, because make a mistake, coach takes you out. And so coaches are working against what I'm giving athletes. And I try to tell coaches, don't be that kind of coach that pulls an athlete when they make a mistake. Athletes need to learn how to play through mistakes. That's how they grow. You want an athlete who can grow through adversity, not one that wants to make a mistake, you take them out and on the bench.
Yeah.
So I try to give coaches that tip as well. And I work with teams. I'm working with 3 basketball teams right now, and I always tell the coaches, I know it's hard, they make a mistake, but you got to keep them in. They got a routine, they got a bounce back ritual. Keep them in so they can learn how to play through it.
Yeah, some of those coaches are listening to you, because you see some, even in football, the guy will make a mistake, who will fumble. They'll try to put that guy back out there. Hey, redeem yourself. Go out there and fix this up. Redeem yourself.
Yeah.
And then that person gets right back on track. He helped that person get back on track. They're going to give me a hard rap. But now you spoke about not having a team when you had to make that transition. You have a team now, girl. You are doing your thing. You have a team.
Thank you, Dr.
We're
Bob.
with you every step of the way. You are doing it, and people need you in all walks of life, not just in the game of basketball or in sports. So, yeah, when you get a chance, you can open that bad boy wide open. Here we go. You need me? I'm here for you. I've got the team for you. And you can do it through Mentally StrongHer, right?
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate the insightful questions and your enthusiasm.
Well, thank you for coming on, and come back and share more, because we need people like you. Val, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Val Whiting, mental performance coach for female athletes, and Mentally StrongHer. And you're going to open that bad boy up. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time. You can keep following us on social media at the Bronxnet TV, and join us for another episode next week, all right? Remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. To choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Val Lee. I'll catch you another day, another way. I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.